Hey there guys, we're going to be going to the Octomammoth trial for a budget run. So for this one, we're going to be doing all missions again, 15 turns or less, party of 5 or less, no items. Now, we're not going to take a friend in the video, but you're supposed to look for an olive friend for this fight. You're going to want a well-geared EX3 olive to carry the fight for you. Now, I'm going to be taking my own so I don't have to spend 45 minutes looking for an olive because the friends list in FFBE is garbage. But if you don't have your own olive to carry the fight, you need to get a friend for this strategy. Either ask on social media, or hopefully, at least for the first week, people have olives built naturally, and one of them is, really powerful on your friends list, and you can get a carry in this fight. The rest of the party is using very budget gear, cheap stuff, mostly old units. The exception is very obviously Premium Darkfina. If you don't have her, you can try it with like Bulwark or something, but in that case, you are going to want your own olive to help out for damage, or at least another high damage dealer like 2B or something. But Premium Darkfina, EX1 is totally fine on her. You don't need EX2. Technically, you don't even need EX1. EX0 would work, it just wouldn't be as good. But we are going to use her and splurge a little bit for the budget run. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and LB with Fina for the stat buff and all that. If yours is EX1 or 0, just LB on turn 2, use the cooldown on turn 1. Golbez is going to do Jet Black Curse. Now this, starting on turn 4 and beyond, will be a permanent uptime 150 Dark Imperil, and that's a really big deal, which allows us to skip using Renoa. So we're going to go ahead and do this, but it is a delayed Imperil, and it won't be active until turn 4, but then we can maintain it for the entirety of the fight. If you do have Renoa, using Golbez and Renoa will give you an even bigger Imperil. Then you could like drop Olivera and do good things. But, we're going to do it this way. Kaito is going to start in the base form, then go to the shift form, and then we'll just do his LB on the head. He's going to be the passive provoker with evasion. Also he does water absorption. Makes it nice and easy. Olive can just do some buffs to get ready. We're going to be capping in a moment later. And then Olivera can just do Inspiring and some Symphonics to put up Instrument in Peril and some tag chaining. And the reason we're taking Olivera is because he's a tag chainer and it makes capping Meteors and Olive a little bit easier. Okay, next we are going to do, we're going to use the Imbue on the party with Darkfina. Olivera can just do something. Now, again, our big Imperil is not going to be active until turn 4. So because of that, we're like saving our big burst. We're not going to meteor with Golbez yet. We have no way to refill his MP easily. So we're going to just wait until turn 4 for all the big bursting. Olive will just go ahead and do some setup and cap. And Kaito will just triple chain Deep Submersion, which is going to match our Olivera. Build the chain a little bit quicker. So we'll do that, and then we'll go ahead and tag this up. And again, the damage is going to look very, very low until turn 4, because we don't have that good Imperil yet. The boss currently has really high Dark Resist. But starting on turn 4, we're going to be a lot better. Not to mention we don't have the 90 break yet. Okay, let's go ahead and do the Assure Field with Darkfina. Let's reload Olivera. We're going to use Kaito with an Extreme Nova Materia to match up with our Olive. And again, we're not using Golbez quite yet. So we're going to go ahead and send our Extreme Novas and then send our Olivera afterwards for a little bit of damage. Now the 90 break is up. So now damage will be a lot better in the future turns. And then turn 4, the boss is going to have that big Imperil. And finally, we're going to have good damage time. Okay, not to mention we also finally get the SOB of Darkfina. Okay, so turn 4. Now we're going to use the LB of Olivera. How many hits is this? 8 hits. That's Chaos Wave Awakened. Yes, we can't match Kaito with this. So we'll just have Kaito do his regular LB here. All right, or his shifted LB. We're going to use with Olive. We'll do a bunch of setup and then whoops. I did that wrong. Hold on. Oh my god. Alright, a bunch of setup with Olive and then Cap. We're finally going to use the Meteor with Golbez. And if you look at the top window, the boss now has a 90 Spirit Break and only 40 Dark Resist. Now, if you're using Renoa on top of this, the boss would have 10 Dark Resist and you'd be really nice. But we're not using Renoa because she's, no one pulled for her. Anyway, so the timing here is always exciting and fun. So I think we're going to do Meteor, we're going to wait, we're going to click this, we're going to click this, and hopefully I proper timed this. I think I did. It's hard to tell. I don't know. So, 36, 32 plus 4, 5. I think I did proper time it. Anyway, there you go. So on turn 5, we need Golbez to reapply his Jet Black Curse. You know what we're going to do? We're going to do Jet Black Curse, and we're going to Osmos a little bit to get some mana back from the head, hopefully. Let's see. We're going to do Eccentric on Premium Fina. That's from Riku's pouch. That'll help us refill the LB gauge of Olivera a little bit quicker. Let's go ahead and Symphonic a few times. Let's have Kaito just triple deep. And we're going to have Olive get ready for next turn with this. We're going to cap, and then we're going to use Magnus for the burst next turn. So we're going to send this, then send our Extreme Novas. Okay, some damage. Not super great, but whatever. Alright. But now turn 6, Olive will have an SLB with the boss having the big Imperil at this point. So this will be nice. First thing we're going to do with Fina is re-imbue the party. Make sure you keep that in mind. Don't lose track. We can have Golbez. His mana's not ready yet, so we're not going to Meteor again. We're just going to triple Osmos and try to get some mana back. I'm not sure if the boss has any MP remaining. He does. It's not much mana, but it's, whatever. You may as well. Let's go ahead and put the Instrument Imperil back up. Symphonics, and then we're going to LBU, and Kaito's LB is ready, so we'll do that as well. So we'll do this. And hopefully we can get some Crystal Drops on Olivera. He's not really getting much LB, so it's making me feel real bad. Olivera, what a jerk face. Come on, dude, get your LB for me. Anyway, we're doing okay damage. It's fine. We do have the Meteor of Golbez ready now, so we'll go ahead and Symphonic a few times. Let's see, Olive will do her setup and cap. Let's see, Kaito can just do deep a few times. Let's cap that Meteor this turn, and Fina. We'll go ahead and summon Ashura Field again, just in case we don't kill the boss in time. Alright, so we're going to Meteor, we're going to wait, we're going to do this, we're going to go ahead and chain this up. And hopefully I proper timed it. I think I did. It's always hard to tell. And the tentacles are fine. They're only getting weak breaks, and we're not AoE chaining very much. Alright, so turn 8, we are going to refresh the SOB here. Jet Black Curse is not ready, so we'll go ahead and we'll Osmos one of the tentacles. Let's Osmos a tentacle right here. Oh yeah, we're getting more MP back from the tentacle. Target the head again. Make sure you always retarget the head when you do it that way, because if you mess up and leave the tentacle targeted, like I've done in a practice run, you'll feel bad. Let's go ahead and have Olive. Let's see. We're gonna get ready for the SLB next turn, so we'll do it this way. Cannon fire. So we're going to do this. Okay. And Kaito can discard. Alright. You know what I should have done is AoE chain with Kaito, so I could get some crystal drops for Olivera, but whatever. And the reason this is going so slow, by the way, is we're using super cheap gear on Golbez and Olivera. We're not using the Dazzling Demoness card, all that. If we were doing all that kind of stuff, we'd be doing a lot better. We need to go ahead and Jet Black Curse again this turn with Golbez. Let's have Kaito match up with you. Let's see. We'll do Symphonic with you. Let's see. Fina can just do either... Let's do eccentric again. Let's chain this up. And then send this in. Okay, so probably going to get a turn 12 clear at the most, which is fine. Alright, we need to re-imbue with Fina. Let's go ahead and do that. Fina will imbue the party. Let's do some MP refill so we can maybe get Golbez looking good to go for another burst. We're just going to meteor with Golbez right now. Like, whatever. It's fine. Go ahead and triple deep. Let's have Olive do her setup. Gunner's not ready, so we'll do all this. And Cap. Olivera. You know what? We're probably going to, honestly speaking, kill the boss before the next SLB. So we're going to do it this way. We're going to actually use the Magnus right now for a bigger burst. Let's do Symphonic. We'll go ahead and Meteor. And Kaito was doing Deep, I think. Alright, so timing is always the biggest annoyance. So we're going to Meteor, we're going to wait, we're going to do this, we're going to wait, chain. Oh, you gotta be kidding me! We had a 10 turn clear! So close! No! Disaster. Okay, well, 11 turn clear. Whatever. Whatever. Alright, so we can just reload this and... that sucks. Okay. And wait. So there it is. There is the turn clip. Oh man, 1% hang feels real bad. So there was the clear. 11 turns with a super cheaply geared team and a well-geared Olive, who is intended to be the one to carry the fight for you. So I'll show you the gear in a second and the damage breakdown. And keep in mind, when Golbez and Olivera look like their damage is low, they are using very budget gear. They're not using the Dazzle card. On the other hand, Olivera is an AoE LB, so he did cheat a little bit by chaining on the tentacles. Olive never chained on the tentacles. And Golbez is using, like I said, really cheap gear. So let's go ahead and show the gear we used. Now Golbez, you know, if you can't gear him well, that's totally fine, but we're using just a double-handed harp. If you don't have this, you know, a double-handed katana works fine as well. The Jet Black curse comes from his curse armor. You've got to upgrade his STMR in the Chronicle battle to get that. It is a permanent addition. Make sure the whole party has 100 water resist. Other than that, just gear him for meteor damage, and he's primarily the breaker. But he is using a practice session, which is the Olivera's card. If you have the Dazzling Demoness card, absolutely use that. Instead, he'll do dramatically higher damage. So there is the setup we're using. Very, very cheap gear, so hopefully that is easy to build for you. Premium Fina is just using some water resist, some Esper Fill, and that is it. She is here for dark support, and that is the only thing. 100 water resist. We gave her Lion Emblems and Riku's Pouch to help fill LB gauge, to try to get Olivera's LB more often. It didn't really seem to help that, but I think we only got like 2 LBs the entire fight on Olivera. But there it is. Olivera not using the base form. Shift form is just using, you know, MP build, 100 water resist, MP chaining versus aquatics, and here's the build. Not super great because we're using his own vision card. If you have the Dazzling Demoness card, I've said it again, you'll be doing a lot better on him. But there it is. And we chose him mostly because he's a tag trainer and makes capping Olive on off turns a little bit easier. If you don't have Olivera, you can use someone to chain with Kaito, and it'll work fine as well. Bring like a Bolting Strike chainer. Maybe even something like, what's her name? Starlight Elena would be a good option, but then again, Starlight Elena kind of requires the Dazzling Demoness card to do any kind of relevant damage. But that's a good option if you have her, and the Dazzle card. Kaito in the base form is starting in the base form. Some Esper Fill so we can get that Assure Field nice and easy, and then Saintly Castle and Miracle Shoes That's just that's just some auto mitigation so that when he goes to his shift form and stays there the entire fight, he takes less damage from the damage over time. Now he is full evasion. We don't need water resist because he absorbs it if he's wearing his Trust Mastery. Make sure he's wearing that. Other than that, full evasion, passive provoke, a source of extreme nova. Make sure he is not dual wielding. That way, his LB is extreme nova, but in case his LB is not filled in 3 turns, that way he can always chain. And then just a bulk card. He was never in any danger at all, so you don't need all this bulk. You could even, technically speaking, probably gear him for pure damage and just toss on the Dancer's Diadem, and he'd contribute 1% damage. We would have had a turn 10 clear if I had done that. But, yeah, whatever. And then the Olive you're taking is a well-geared Olive. You want a really well-geared Olive, so I went all out on her. 100 water resist, high magic, chain speed increase, an empty materia slot, because literally there's nothing else that matters. She's capped on Esper stats, she's capped on chain speed, she's capped on killers, she's capped on magic. There is absolutely, literally nothing to put in this materia slot that would have mattered, so I left it empty. Whatever. Maxed LB damage, maxed aquatic, and yeah, she's going to carry the fight for you. She's the 90 breaker, she's a very high damage dealer. She has a 200% aqua killer to herself only. She is literally the absolute MVP for this fight. And she's a single target damage dealer, which is a good thing in this fight. There it is. There's the budget run. Hope it helps. Alright. See you next time.